Good morning. It is Wednesday, March the 4th, and this is The Drill. Thank you very much. I'm Ron, your host and the only true conservative in the United States today. I created this podcast to answer the question most asked by conservatives, namely, what can I do? My podcast is short, approximately 5 to 10 minutes long, because shorter podcasts are easier to download and listen to, and shorter podcasts force me to get to the point. I've been listening to conservative talk radio since 1989. I've grown up in a socialist household, and I've seen the destructive effects of socialism up close and personal. My podcast is made available through Spreaker and can be heard on iTunes, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. Today, what can I do? Tweet of the day, where is socialist paradise, Civil War memorials, and the importance of resisting subversion. All that when I come back. Thank you. What can I do? Remember, you have nothing to prove. The socialists will always try to trick you into proving a negative, proving why something shouldn't be done, prove why something shouldn't happen. It's impossible to prove a negative. Let's take abortion, for example. If you tell a socialist that abortion should be illegal, you usually get a question such as this: what about the life of the mother? On the surface, this question seems reasonable. It isn't. The question is asking you to prove that a ban on abortion won't harm the mother. You're being asked to prove a negative. Since it is impossible, it is up to the socialist to prove that a ban on abortion will harm the mother. Furthermore, they, the socialists, must prove that the life of the mother is more important than the life of the unborn. So, the right answer to the question, what about the life of the mother, is, what about it? When I come back, the tweet of the day. Thank you. The tweet of the day is from the Department of State. Today, at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, the Secretary of State and the FLOTUS, Melania Trump, will honor the 2020 International Women of Courage awardees. Next up, Bernie Sanders is wrong. Thank you. Bernie Sanders said that Fidel Castro wasn't all bad because he increased the literacy rate in Cuba. First of all, this should be recognized by all conservatives as a variation of the Hitler wasn't so bad because he made all the trains run on time rebuttal. It's fallacious, and so is Mr. Saunders' rebuttal. Proposing a moral equivalent between the literacy rate and people's lives is repugnant. Plus, Fidel Castro led a violent revolution in Cuba. And if, at the end of the day, the only thing he has to show for it is an increased literacy rate, then the revolution was a failure. What is the promise of socialism? Paradise. Where is the paradise in Cuba? Next up, Civil War memorials. Thank you very much. Civil War memorials have been reported to have been removed, torn down, or defaced in the past year. Simply removing the statue, either voluntarily or by force, only leaves a vacuum and denies and distorts history. But we need to acknowledge that the people who started and prosecuted the Civil War should not be made into heroes. However, we need not glorify the military actions of the Confederacy in order to acknowledge history. We can demilitarize the monuments by depicting Confederate officers in their civilian occupations. When I come back, the importance of defeating subversion. Welcome back. Another thing that conservatives can do to resist subversion. Subversion is a process of turning things on their head. Right is wrong, beauty is ugly. The true conservative must challenge those notions whenever he encounters them. Using the term boss is subversive. It is saying that rudeness is cool. True conservatives can stop this trend by refusing to spread the disease. Don't call anyone boss. Instead, be polite. Call them sir, Mr., ma'am, and miss. Back in a minute. Thank you. Who's the true conservative? He's the person that understands that conservatism is not just about politics, but culture as well. He's not selfish, but minds his own business. He acts like an adult. He is patriotic and uses common sense. He expresses what he knows and does so with certainty. He makes judgments, refuses to speculate, speaks clearly and definitively, and is not afraid to say no. He's open-minded, asking why rather than why not. He is consistent, credible, and influential, not ashamed of his existence, unafraid to learn or correct his mistakes. He is a normal American, and he's better than the socialist. He's a better friend, father, brother, family member, and a better person, period. You have to know that. If you don't know with every fiber of your being that being a true conservative is best, then you're wasting your time. And that brings me to the end of another episode of The Drill. Remember that the left has no authority, no power, and they can't win. Think about it.